Hi everybody, it's me, Lisa T, coming at you with some positive energy. Lighten up your life with Lisa, reading The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. Okay. What did we read last time? Crap, fun, right? Panic, don't panic. If a swimmer, yeah, okay, so this will be, yeah, we haven't read this yet. Okay. Getting organized while I'm live. I should be organized before I start these, right? I'm a busy girl, people. I'm a busy girl, so it's just like snap decision making. Okay. June 9th, panic. Few situations, no matter how greatly they appear to demand it, can be bettered by us going berserk. Bettered by us going berserk. Okay. Few situations, no matter how greatly they appear to demand it, can be bettered by us going berserk. So nothing is going to go better if you go berserk over it. There's not many situations. There may be like one situation in the world where if you go berserk, you're going to handle it better, or it's going to turn out better. So basically, don't panic. Like we've talked about this in other videos, right? When a plane is going down, or when there's a catastrophe happening, or there's a riot, they say don't panic, because your frontal lobe of your brain will turn off. Do you remember me telling you guys this? Your frontal lobe, where you make rational decision making, actually turns off because your amygdala gets fired up, and then you can't really think clearly. You just go into like survival panic mode, and so you're not making any well thought out decisions from that frontal lobe cortex, from that frontal cortex of your brain. It actually, physiology will like turn it down as soon as you go and if you go berserk or panicky. So that's why they say calm down, stay calm, so that you can think clearly and make rational, good decisions, okay? Okay, so few situations, no matter how greatly they appear to demand it, can be bettered by us going berserk. Don't panic. If a swimmer was crossing a lake, then suddenly focused too heavily on the distance remaining, he might start to flounder and go under. Not because he couldn't swim, but because he became overwhelmed by panic. That's kind of like us not, living in the moment. More that's a lesson also of living in the moment. Don't think about how far you got to go. I think I said this in one of my videos recently too, about the mountains, right? Like if I'm only focused on, oh my God, these mountains in front of me that I have to climb, metaphorically, it's going to seem overwhelming. It's better to look at all the mountains I've climbed already. It's better to see how far we've come already. So don't get overwhelmed by all these things that are to come. We've got to stay in the moment. That's such a good practice for keeping peace of mind, and helping you to stay in good cognitive thinking, decision making. Okay, so if the swimmer looks like way too far ahead, they might go, oh my God, I'm not going to have enough energy to make it, and they'll panic. They can get overwhelmed by panic. So panic, not the task, is the enemy. So it's not the thing that we've got to do or the situation that we have to go through that's the enemy. Panicking about it. It's again, everything is about our perception and our feelings about it. So it's not about the situation. It's about how we are reacting to it, right? Mm-hmm. So panic, not the task, is the enemy. Fear, not the thing that you're fearing, is the enemy. The actual fear that you're feeling is the enemy too. It doesn't say that there. That's my ad lib. Okay, many of us have moments when we feel crowded and overwhelmed. Actually, so many of my friends recently, like if I was talking to 10 friends, 9 of them said, I'm so overwhelmed right now. Generally, so one major lesson I've learned in the last bunch of years is that I'm never alone in so many ways. Like if I'm feeling something or going through something, I'm not the only person in the world that's ever gone through that or feeling that. Others are, and generally, people in my close orbit are going through it. It's just whether we're talking about it or not. That's why being open is so important, because then we can get support because others are going through the same thing. So yeah, a bunch of friends were all feeling overwhelmed. So I don't know if it's the moon or the stars or the energy of the world or whatever, but people are feeling overwhelmed right now. So if you are too, you're not alone, and you're going to make it through. So many of us have moments when we feel crowded and overwhelmed. We have times when we feel like we cannot possibly accomplish all that needs to be done. Again, sorry, I have lots of ad libs right now because so much is coming up for me. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, I was talking to a friend, and I was just when I was starting to become an RMT, and I was doing this online business thing, and I was doing something else, and And I called her. I'm like, oh my God, I still got to do this video, and I got to sign these, figure out this paperwork and fill in this stuff, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do this, and I don't know what to do. And she was like, oh my gosh, Lisa, she's like, just make a list and tick things off one by one. Just get it on paper. Pen and paper is so powerful. So if you've got all these things in front of you, and you're like, oh my God, there's so much to do. I have so much on my plate. Just even like making a simple list can like, whoosh, calm you down. Okay, so we have times when we feel like we cannot possibly accomplish all that needs to be done. We may be facing a task at work, an improvement in ourselves, or a change in our family life. For a moment, it is helpful to look forward and envision the project. That's normal. It is normal when we look ahead at what needs to be done to have moments of panic. It's normal to have a moment of panic. Feel the fear and then let it go. So panic is another feeling, fear, these are all feelings, and we can feel them. But then we need to feel them. We need to acknowledge, oh God, I'm feeling fear, or oh God, I'm panicking. Because as soon as you say, okay, wait, I'm panicking here, then it's going to be like a association to go, okay, I need to make a list and calm down and write, like sort myself out here. Instead of just getting lost in the fear or lost in the panic. Feel it and then deal with it and heal it, right? That's what I always say. Feel it, deal with it, heal it. And then you can also let it go. Or it let go. I've noticed it lets go of me. So, feel the fear, then let it go. Take our eyes off the furniture and the enormity of the task. Sorry, future. Furniture. I just fixed my couch again yesterday. Take our eyes off the future and the enormity of the task. Take your eyes off the future and the enormity of the situation. Oh my God, it's too big. I'll never do it. I'll never be able to get it all done. Don't do that. Take your eyes off of that. Focus somewhere differently. If we have envisioned the goal, it will be ours. Everything starts in the mind. If you know that you've got all these things you need to get done, and you've seen like, oh yeah, the reason I got to get that done and got to get this done is because I see where it's leading me. If you've seen it, it's going to happen. Don't panic about how you're going to get there. If we have envisioned the goal, it will be ours. We do not have to do everything today or all at once. Focus on today. Focus on the belief that all is well. Just change your focus, and that takes practice, but just keep doing it. All we need to do to reach our goal is to focus on what presents itself naturally and in an orderly way to us today. So just focusing on what you have to accomplish today, not what you have to get done by the end of the week, what you have to get done today, not what you have to get done by the end of the year, what you have to get done today. And then everything else will unfold as it should. And that is another thing about higher powers. That's like leaving it, that's like not over managing things and letting powers outside of yourself unfold as they see fit. So, focus on what presents itself naturally and in an orderly way to us today. We shall be empowered to accomplish peacefully what we need to get where we want to be tomorrow. We shall be empowered to accomplish peacefully what we need to get where we want to be tomorrow. What we need to get where we want to be tomorrow. What we need to, what we need to get, why am I not reading well tonight? What we need to get where we want to be tomorrow. That sentence doesn't make sense to me. We shall be empowered to accomplish peacefully what we need to get where, I'm going to move on. Panic will stop this process. Trust and guided action will further it. Breathe deeply. So panic will stop the process of moving forward. If you panic, you're going to get stuck. Panic will stop the process of moving forward. Trust and guided action will further it. If you trust and just do what's right in front of you, that will keep you progressing to your goal. Get peaceful. Trust. Act as guided. Today. All about today. We can get back on track by treading water until we regain our composure. Once we feel peaceful, we can begin to swim again with confidence. Keeping the focus simple, on one stroke, one movement at a time. One foot in front of the other. Just the net. I did the CN Tower stair climb a couple of years in a row back a few years ago, and I remember that was a huge thing. It was like, if I thought about like, oh my God, there's so many steps to the top, I would be exhausted before I even started, because you're holding the whole emotion of the whole thing. But I remember specifically just being like, one more step, one more step, one more step, one more step, and I got to the top, and I actually beat my time the following year. I got better at it. So yeah, but it was all about just focusing on the next step in front of me. So keep the focus simple, one stroke, one movement at a time. If we can make one movement, we have progressed. So if you do that one thing today, you're progressing closer to your goal. Don't think about all the things you have to do towards your goal, or to this change, or to this improvement, or to this job, whatever's in the future. Don't think about all the things that have to happen before you get there. Just think about that one thing that you can do today. And if you do that one thing, then you have progressed further into your goal, towards your goal, right? Which is a success. If we get tired, we can float. It's using the swimming scene, right? If you get tired, and so just like kind of coast for a little bit, metaphorically in your mind or physically. So if we get tired, we can float, but only if we are relaxed. You're only going to be able to float if you're relaxed. Before we know it, we shall reach the shore. Here's your prayer for today. Today, I will believe that all is well, that I am being led, but I shall only be led one day at a time. I will focus my energy on living this day to the best of my ability. If panic arises, I will stop all activity and deal with panic as a separate issue. Nice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. I love you all.